Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Our Miss Brooks teaches English at Madison High School. And although one day in the life of a school teacher is pretty much the same as the next, at night well, perhaps we'd better let Connie Brooks speak for herself.
Although one day in the life of a school teacher is pretty much the same as the next, at night you wish you were dead. Not that I'm bored. How could I be with Mr. Philip Boynton teaching biology at Madison? Of course, every new frog he gets in his laboratory represents an arch rival. But I shouldn't complain. It gives me an added interest in life. Each morning before I get out of bed, I look down to see if I'm getting webbed feet. Somehow, ever since we've been on the faculty together, Mr. Boynton just doesn't seem to think of me as a woman. I can't quite understand that, because when I think of Mr. Boynton, I always think of me as a woman. And I almost always think of Mr. Boynton, or dream about him, like the other morning around 7:25. Oh, of course, Philip. I'd love to go dancing with you. When will you come for me? That's quick work.
Connie, it's me, Connie. May I come in?
Oh, it's Mrs. Davis. Come in, Mrs. Davis.
I thought I'd wake you before your alarm clock went off. It's so loud and nerve-wracking.
Oh, I'm pretty used to it by now, Mrs. Davis. I always like to clear my throat before I pour orange juice into it. Well, I guess I better get up and perform my morning ablutions, like they say.
You can ablute later, Connie. You stay right where you are.
Oh, but Mrs. Davis, it's 7:30.
No, it isn't. I set the clock a half hour ahead.
But why?
Snap.
Snap?
That's right. They want pictures of you from the minute you first wake up till you go to sleep.
Who does?
Snap.
You're faded. What is all this about, Mrs. Davis?
Snap is a magazine, Connie. Some time ago, I read that they were looking for the ideal American teacher for an interview. The next thing I knew, the layout editor was here in town and had called me up for an appointment with you.
Me? But why me?
I guess somebody recommended you as the model teacher.
Somebody like who?
Somebody like me. I wrote them all about you. What a wonderful teacher you are and how all your pupils love you.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that, Mrs. Davis.
I didn't.
What?
I discovered the letter in my desk this morning. I'd forgotten to mail it. So it must have been somebody else who... Oh, here they are, Connie. They've been waiting in the living room.
Oh, but Mrs. Davis, I'm not dressed.
Come on in, folks.
Snap's the school teacher. Where is the little lady?
Here she is. Well, and not such a little lady after all. Tootsie's reached all the way over the end of the bed.
Those are my stockings hanging over the rail.
My name is Peterson. Pete to my friends. And this is Miss Forrest.
How do you do? If you'll just wait in the living room for a few minutes, I'll get myself assembled.
Well, frankly, Miss Brooks, we'd rather start in here. You see, I'm the layout editor.
That's nice, but before you lay me out, I'd like to comb my hair and wash my face.
I wish you wouldn't. Just put your head back on the pillow for a minute, will you?
Oh, but
You pose the way the folks want you to, Connie. I'm going to make some breakfast for all of us.
Swell, that'll be our second shot. Snap's the school teacher snapping up a breakfast. Good, huh?
Very snappy.
A few minutes.
Now, as I was saying, my dear, we don't want you to do a thing for this picture. Realism is what our readers want. The eyelids practically stuck together, little straggly clumps of hair flopping over the ears, and those little tired lines around a mouth that looks like it just tasted a raw lamb chop. We want you just the way you are.
Thank you, dear. Have you picked your pallbearers yet?
Shoot that, Pete. That's just what we want. That snarling look when the teacher first gets up in the morning.
Got it.
Now listen, you
Please,
two.
Miss Brooks. We're going to be together all day. It'll be much more pleasant for all of us if you cooperate.
Well, it isn't that I don't want to cooperate. It's just that I don't like to have my picture taken without a little makeup, even if it's only an inch or two like you've got on.
A little, aren't you? I use very little makeup. A dab here and a dab there.
Here a dab, there a dab, everywhere a dab. No, Miss Forrest, I'm not sure I really want this spread.
I know, dear, but when a woman reaches a certain age, some spread is inevitable. Oh! You mean in the magazine? Oh, yes. Well, let's talk about it after breakfast. I'm starved.
Good. Will you join us at the table, or do you want your saucer of milk on the back fence?
Well, I hope you enjoyed my pancakes. You know, the batter is my own invention.
Oh, really? What's in it?
If she tells you, you'll never eat them again.
Instead of eggs, I use hot peanut oil. Then to the customary amount of flour and milk, I add half a cup of baking powder mixed with cornmeal, 2 cups of yummy yogurt. And while the whole thing is being whipped in the mixmaster, I gradually add a teaspoonful of cider vinegar and just a smidgen of goose liver.
She's got a recipe for stuffed cabbage that would send you screaming into the hills.
Oh, now, Connie, it isn't that good.
Well, I'll help you clear the table, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, get a shot of this, Pete. The school teacher helps out with chores at home before going to classroom. Here, take a stack of dishes, Miss Brooks.
All right. I don't mind your taking my picture so much now that I'm dressed.
Well, I don't blame you, my dear. That's a very nice suit. Shark skin, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's such durable material. One can tell at a glance that it's worn you for years.
You're very observant. It would be a shame to see those great big eyes of yours closed for a while. I think maybe you'd better get somebody else for these pictures.
But, Connie, think of the prestige it will give you at school.
It will?
Of course. Everybody making a fuss over you. Why, I bet it would make even Mr. Boynton sit up and beg.
Mr. Boynton?
The school mascot. He's a schnauzer. Don't try to pet him because he snaps.
What?
Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. I've changed my mind. You can take all the pictures you want. Oh, that must be Walter Denton. He said he'd pick me up this morning.
Oh, that's right. Your car's in the repair shop again, isn't it, Connie?
Oh, you own a car, Miss Brooks?
Yes, I do.
Well, what kind of a car?
Well, I had a brand new 49 Hudson, but I didn't want to show off, so I traded it for a 32 Stutz. Coming, Walter!
Oh, Walter, eh? Must be nice to have a man call for you in the morning. Who is he? The well-known absent-minded professor?
No, dear. This one's more your type.
Oh?
16 years old, and he can't run very fast.
You think Walter will mind if we ride down to school with you, Miss Brooks?
Oh, I guess it'll be all right. Come along.
Goodbye, Mrs. Davis.
Goodbye, Miss Forrest.
Thanks for breakfast.
See you after school, Mrs. Davis. I'll help you sterilize the mixmaster. Well, good morning, Walter.
Boy, somebody looks yummy this morning.
Why, Walter, do you really think so?
I sure do, Miss Brooks. Where did you meet her?
Oh, you mean Miss Forrest. Miss Forrest, Mr. Peterson, meet Walter Denton. They're with Snap Magazine, Walter.
Glad to know you, Walter.
Hi.
Well, I'm certainly glad to make your acquaintance, Mr. Denton. What subject do you teach at Madison High?
Teach? Oh, I'm not a teacher. Although I do coach some of the younger students in subjects that just naturally come easy to me.
Like lunch period and study hall.
Well, it was a natural mistake. You seem so gallant, so worldly, Mr. Denton.
Just call me Walter.
Well, all right, Walter. Then you must call me Stephanie.
I must? Gosh, do you really think I'm worldly, Stephanie?
I certainly do.
I knew this morning was going to be different, even though it started out like all the other crummy mornings in my life. On my way over here, I just felt that something romantic was going to happen. And sure enough, here you are.
Why, Walter, what a lovely speech.
It's not a speech. It's merely what I feel, Stephanie.
Shall we go to school now, Walter, or just stay here in the Casbah?
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith with an important announcement. Ladies, what's your complexion problem?
My skin's so dingy.
Mine's oily.
My skin's dull, coarse-looking.
For a lovelier complexion, you must stop improper cleansing. Instead, use Palmolive soap the way doctors advise. Leading skin specialists have now proved the Palmolive plan, using nothing but Palmolive soap, can bring fresher, brighter complexions. Yes, regardless of age, type of skin, or previous beauty care. Now, here's what these doctors advise.
Wash your face with Palmolive soap. Massaging for 1 minute with Palmolive's soft, lovely lather. This cleansing massage brings your skin Palmolive soap's full beautifying effect. Rinse. Do this 3 times a day for 14 days.
It's that simple. But remember, 36 doctors, leading skin specialists, advise this way for 1,285 women with all types of skin. Dry, oily, normal, young, older. And prove this plan, using Palmolive alone, nothing else, really works for 2 out of 3. So for a lovelier complexion, forget all other beauty care. Instead, do as these doctors advise. Use Palmolive for a fresher, brighter complexion.
For loveliness all over, use big, thrifty bath-size Palmolive in your tub or shower.
You know, folks, when I read that Snap Magazine was looking for a model teacher, I was going to write in and suggest Miss Brooks. But then the midterm exams came along, and I got kind of busy, and But honest, I was going to, Miss Brooks.
Thanks anyway, Walter, I think.
Is her picture going to appear on the cover when the story comes out?
I imagine so, Walter.
Gee, that's great. It'll sure be a relief from those pictures of glamorous young girls in bathing suits with legs.
It may come as a shock to you, Walter, but I've got legs myself.
You have?
Yes. Of course, they may not be as pretty as Marlene Dietrich's, but then I'm not a grandmother either.
You're not?
Now, look, rancid one.
Maybe we better change the subject. Miss Forrest, Stephanie, after you get through taking pictures of Miss Brooks at school, you ought to get some at the faculty-student malt hop this afternoon.
Malt hop?
Well, the faculty call it a tea dance, but we call it a malt hop because it's held in Weber's Malt Shop.
Well, sounds fascinating.
Yeah, they serve a wonderful malt there. Their slogan is, "Our malts are too thick to sip through a straw. You have to eat it with a spoon." Some of them are even too thick to eat with a spoon.
Some of them are even too thick to dance in.
We've got a swell jukebox and a cute little dance floor. Before we get to school, Stephanie, I'd like to ask you, could you...
She would and she could, and she'll be there 10 minutes ahead of you.
Well, Miss Brooks, you sound a little put out. You weren't by any chance expecting Walter to ask you to the hop.
Me? Oh, heck no. I go with a girl.
Why, Walter, I'm surprised at you. What do you think Miss Brooks is?
A blackboard eraser with teeth.
Gee, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Miss Brooks.
No, you didn't, Walter. I'm used to it. I was just wondering about Harriet Conklin. Did you have a date with her for this afternoon?
Oh, sure, but there was nothing definite about it. I merely asked her if she wanted to go to the hop, and she said yes.
Oh. I didn't know it was that tentative.
I guess you're going to the dance with Mr. Boynton, huh, Miss Brooks?
Oh, did they let schnauzers in?
Schnauzers?
Oh, it was just a joke, Walter. I referred to Mr. Boynton as our mascot. He's really the biology teacher at Madison, Miss Forrest.
And what a teacher. Boy, is he good looking.
Oh, really, Walter?
Yeah, he's tall, dark, handsome.
Stoop-shouldered, knock-kneed, cross-eyed.
Hey, isn't this the school?
Oh, yeah, I almost passed it. Guess I was looking at somebody on my right.
Well, if you'll just turn your head, Walter, you'll see Harriet approaching on your left.
Good morning, Walter. Miss Brooks. Oh, I didn't know you had passengers.
Oh, this is Miss Forrest.